Where's Garrett? Vegetables. Vegetables.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another wig workshop. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how I achieved this beautiful frontal sew-in install on my client. As you can tell, her hair is already cornrowed and ready to go, so let's get into it.
Left side.
So the first step is to go in with a little bit of alcohol and just clean off her edges. And just make sure that there isn't any excess makeup or oil that's left on there, which will interfere with the install later. You then want to go in with a little bit of gel and just slick down her edges nice and flat against her hairline. And this is just to make sure that, one, they don't interfere with the install later, and two, that they're protected from the friction, from the wig, and they're not compromised later when you want to take the wig off.
More carrots. Don't tear it. More carrots. Where's Garrett? Vegetables.
So once your gel's dried, you want to go in with the wig cap and your got2b spray, and I would say do 2 or 3 coats of the got2b and pretty much try to map out where you're gonna cut the cap later. Obviously there's no point in spraying the stuff all the way down your face, so you want to spray it where you're gonna cut later, and yeah, just make sure it's dry before you go in with your next coat. And another thing is you want to avoid touching the spray with your hands, especially while it's wet, because it will go white and it's really hard to get rid of that once it's gone white. So use the back of a comb or a brush or something to work with the spray, and make sure it's completely dried before you touch it with your hands. So once the spray is completely dry and you're happy with how everything is looking, you can then go and secure down the stocking cap onto your client's head. I've had clients ask me if they can just leave all the stocking cap at the back where they're going to sew the tracks, and no, you should not do that. One, because it's just excessive tension on your client's head, and two, it will actually cause the install to start sliding back over time. So you want to cut off what you don't need, and you want to sew the bundles onto her cornrows, because that's just how it needs to go. So yeah. Okay, so now that that's done, I'm gonna go in with my lace tint and I'm just gonna tint the lace so that it matches her skin tone as closely as possible. I'm not gonna say what lace tint I use because it's my own personal concoction that I am developing still and will probably be selling later. So you're just gonna have to keep watching to find out what it is when it's ready and it's a finished product. But there's hundreds at least of really good lace tints that you can use that are available on the market, or you can just use foundation if that's easier. But there are options. So once you've finished securing your stocking cap, you then want to go and clean off her hairline with a little bit of alcohol, and then just stick the front edge of this where the stocking cap meets her hairline. You want to stick that down with a little bit of Prozac. It's important that you have a very light hand with this though, because you don't want to, cake down just the whole install with too much adhesive. But you also don't want to, risk breaking her edges with too much, going on in the hairline. So, yeah. I then go in and start sewing, working my way from the back to the front as I usually do. But one thing to note is you always want to, or at least my recommendation is that you do a small zigzag braid pattern right at the nape of her head, and then start your braid patterns just above that. And the reason I do it like that is I don't want to put too much stress on her nape because her hair is already very soft, and I want to protect her hair as much as possible. So you want to distribute the weight of the weave all across her head and not just in one part, because that will just create way too much stress and, potentially break her hair off, and no one wants that. So, if everything is going according to plan, this is how your install should be looking at this point. You now want to go in with 2 more layers of Prose Aid, and you want to allow each layer to dry and get tacky before you move on to the next one. You can then cut off the excess lace and start gluing down the frontal onto your client's head. With this step, again, you want to avoid touching the wet glue with your bare hands. In fact, you want to avoid touching it at all because it will go white. So just be very careful with that. Um, you can then go in and lay your baby hairs if that's your vibe. Personally, I'm not a fan, neither is my client, so we just left that all out. And you can then tie everything down with a silk scarf or paper strips if you have those, and allow everything to just dry completely before you start styling, because you don't want to interfere with not dry glue. It will go white, it's just going to be a nightmare. You want to avoid that altogether. So yes, allow it to dry 100% before you start styling. There you go. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Please let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. Remember to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you liked this video. And yeah, get into her. She looks awesome. I think she looks lovely. And yeah, peace. Thank you for watching.